Hello, traders, and welcome to the Friday wrap-up, January 16th, 2015. Traders, how's it going? Coming to you live from Pattaya, Thailand. Bright blue, sunny skies, white sandy beaches. And yes, I will be at the gazebo this afternoon, having a couple of cold ones. All right, traders, great to be with you. Remember, this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders got a lot of charts to look at today. You know, I'd like to say that they're interesting, but the market has been the market, and we'll see some interesting stuff, but really, I gotta be honest with you, they're pretty boring. If you would let me introduce myself to you, my name is William Gilday. I'm your moderator for the Friday wrap-up, which we do every Friday about 5 or 6 hours after the New York close. Traders, I gotta tell you that actually it is Saturday morning for me, and it is absolutely beautiful outside. Traders, I started trading in the year of 2006 and 2008. I retired from a wonderful career in the public safety department out of the great state of Florida. And in 2008, got on the Big Bird, came over to Thailand for a 3-month vacation. Well, traders, it's 2015 and I'm still here. I trade the Forex market every single day. Not necessarily take trades every day, but I'm in the market every day, watching, learning, listening, and trying to find that opportunity to gain some profits. All right, let's take over the risk disclaimer, get the legal stuff out of the way. Forex trading has a large potential rewards, but also a large potential of risk. You must be aware of the risks and be willing to accept them in order to invest in the Forex markets. Traders, most of all, please do not trade with money you cannot afford to lose. Traders, always remember that past performance of any trading system or methodology is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so we're going to review some daily charts. These are all daily charts. All right. The big news was the Swiss bank decided to lift the floor that they had at, what was it, 1.20, and they lifted that, and the markets went to heat on that. And wait till you see those charts. Some pretty big moves. Wow. Hope people had stop losses that were trading those pairs. All right. First chart of the day, let's head over to it. This is the euro dollar. What can I say? It's bearish. It's been bearish. There's no reason to buy this. If you wanted to get into this, just wait till it pulled back up to that. You see where you see those 5 candles going sideways, and then try to jump into it there. But it's bearish. You want to sell the euro. I mean, it's been that way for a very, very, very long time. And there's no good news coming out of Europe, and there will not be no good news coming out of Europe, the Eurozone, and they're going to start quantitative easing. I think Mario Draghi, the ECB president, I think he speaks next week. So we might get a date when that actually is going to start. And here we go. Here is the dollar Swissy. Look at this move. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. What's that, like 400 pips there in one day? This thing just absolutely just took off, just went wild. That's all I can say. Nothing you can say, but this is what it is, and this is what happened. All right, let's take a look at the pound dollar. The pound dollar has been doing good. Glad to see this week that the pound dollar is sort of like leveling out a little bit. It's starting to give us more clear stair-stepping action, but we're seeing a lot of days. We saw almost 2 days there. If you look up on the chart there, where you see that long area where, it went sideways. That's over 24 candles. So for 2 days we had no price action, and then it comes down, and what does it do? Of course, it's going to go sideways for a 2-day break. So, but what would you want to do if you were going to trade this? If you're going to trade this, you're looking for a bump up. I would probably fib that doji that's on that middle Bollinger Band, fib it to the bottom, see if we can get the daily chart to bring it up a little bit, and then just sell it. Buy the dollar. That's the trick. Buy the dollar. I'm always positive this is the euro yen. I just don't know why it keeps coming off of that, but this is the euro yen. It is bullish, and but it's at support right now. So it's going to be interesting to watch on Monday to see how this actually takes care of itself. So we'll keep definitely a strict eye on that one. Coming over the Aussie dollar. The Aussie dollar's been acting very well this week. It's it's a commodity pair, so you have to realize that there's a lot of things like that come out of China that will affect the Aussie dollar big time because they import and export with each other. So if you hear China news coming out, look at your Aussie dollar pair and make sure you protect yourself if you're in a trade. But this is sideways on the daily chart. However, we do have two higher lows, so we'll see what happens at the next Asia session and see if this wants to continue to come to the upside. I would fib that last swing and see where exactly we're at. We're probably not even at the 23.6 fib. So, but the only thing we want to do right is buy the dollar. Just the name of the game, buy the dollar. And we keep moving along, and we come over and we hit the New Zealand dollar, just absolutely sideways. I mean, there's a lot of pips here. Don't get me wrong. This is probably a 100 pip range here, but it's nasty 100 pip range, and it's whipsawy 100 pip range. So just be real careful trading New Zealand. It will adjust and get in line. You know, the New Zealand dollar, I always said, was like the best pair to trade if you were a new trader. Well, I can't say that now because in the last month it's really been like really whacked out. And if you take a look at these daily candles, it's pretty hard to trade this. I mean, this is, yes, there's some pips there, but where do you get in? Where do you get out? Where do you put your stops? All that stuff. Where's your drawdown? You get into all those questions that we do as traders, and you look at this chart, and what can we say? It's ugly, and we really don't have any sort of direction. It hasn't taken out any highs. If you take a look to the chart, you'll see that doji with that blue wick. I've been talking about that blue wick for a very long time. It hasn't taken out that high, so it's not doing anything. It's just mangling around, bouncing up and down in a 100 pip range. I only want 30% of it, but where do you get in? Where do you get out? And when is it going to turn on you and smack you in the head with a 2x4? So you have to be very careful with the New Zealand dollar. Here's the dollar CAD. Dollar CAD. Watch the dollar CAD. What's the dollar CAD correlated with? Yeah, the pound. The pound and the CAD are correlated. The other thing that you have to remember, this is also a commodity pair, so be careful of that. But this looks really well. I mean, if I was trading an intraday chart, my bias would be absolutely to the upside. I don't even want to be taking this long. I wouldn't want to be doing anything else except taking this long. This would have to prove to me that it wants to come back down. Look at how far away the 200 exponential moving average is. That's that green line coming across the chart. That's a lot there, but this is very, very, very bullish. So just remember that. And here's a good old pound Aussie, another great pair to trade. The pip spread's a little bit big on it though. Now look at what happened was. It was bullish, comes back down. Now it's at support. Hits support, gives you 2 days of an up move here with that blue candle, right? Comes back down, and 2 days in a row, it is back at support. So what are we going to do? I think it's just going to basically sit here, and then eventually something's going to break news-wise, and it's going to pop from that 200 exponential moving average. Last week was pretty poor in news. There wasn't a lot of data last week, so we'll have to see what happens. This is one of my favorite pairs to trade. It's gone very bullish, and then it's gone very bearish. And look at this. This is the Euro Aussie, and this was an absolutely beautiful trade. If you look at your charts at this was just a beautiful trade. I mean, this gave you your retest back to that 200 exponential moving average. You see red with that big wick. That is a sell. Right? Buy the Aussie. I mean, just buy it. Just take it. I mean, this is a very easy trade setup on this daily chart. So you can imagine what this is like on a 1 hour chart. I really trade a lot on the 1 hour chart and above. So if I saw this on a 1 hour chart or the daily chart, and if I was trading the daily chart, I'll tell you what, I'd be all over this. This is just a simple trade setup here. Look at that Bollinger Band on the bottom, absolutely wide open to the bottom. Let's take a look at the CAD yen. I don't trade this a lot. I don't know its personality too much. I can say that it is hovering at the 200 exponential moving average. It's given us a blue candle to the upside. So it's hanging out at this 200 exponential moving average. We're going to have to wait and see what happens in Asia when Asia opens after our weekend break and see how this sort of reacts. A lot's going on with the yen, not much going on with the CAD. I mean, the CAD is related to the oil thing, so you have to be careful of that. But the oil thing seems to be like evening out. It's just like, I think it's just going to hang out where it's at. You know, it might move $1 here or $2 there, but, you know, that's what it is, and we're just going to have to wait and see how that works out. All right. The Euro New Zealand, another great pair to trade. This is a nice, smooth, easy trading pair. Look at this. Comes down, goes sideways, comes down, goes sideways. Gave you that spike. Hopefully you didn't get stopped out on it. But then comes all the way down. What does it do? Comes back up 4 candles and then gives you that big candle to the downside. But very nice price action. Very nice stair-step action. This is exactly what you're looking for. You're looking for these pullbacks to get in, right? So, for instance, if you look at the bottom of the chart, go up those 2 red candles, and then you see 1, 2, 3, 4 blue candles. I would draw a horizontal line, a trend line there, and once it broke that trend line, I'd be selling that and just keep taking it down. Because we have what we call wide open spaces. Look to the left of the chart. There's no candles there. There's no junk there. There's nothing going to happen there. There's nothing that's going to surprise us on that. So we would just continue to take that to the downside. Here's a New Zealand yen. What can I say? Ugly, confused, dazed. Nice title from Led Zeppelin, Dazed and Confused. But these are big moves. This is a daily chart, so these are a lot of pips here. But if you're on the wrong side of the road, you can get hurt here. You know, this is sideways, but it's not taking out highs and it's not taking out any lows. So just be very, very careful of that. Here's the Aussie New Zealand. As you would expect, the New Zealand, you'd want to buy the New Zealand and take the short. The New Zealand's much stronger than the Aussie, and away she went. Nice stair-step action. Nice price action. Again, this hasn't taken out any highs, folks. So this continues to stay bearish. Look at that big red wick, right? So we want to see some highs getting taken out. We want to see some Fibonacci's in here before, you know, we would take this back down to the downside. The other thing you do is go to that bottom of the chart next to that Bollinger Band. See that red candle there? And you just put a trend line in there and see if it breaks the trend line, and you can take it down that way also, right? But we don't trade daily charts, right? So we're not here to give you trade setups on daily charts. We're here to look at what happened in the past and what's possibly going to happen in the future. What's going to happen in the future is this is going to go sideways for a while, and then it's going to bust probably back down to the downside. I don't see any change in the global sentiment that's going to change what's going on. So we'll just have to keep that the way that is. All right, one of my favorites is the Euro Yen. We all love trading the Euro Yen. This was a great trade. You know, if you traded it on Monday, you came back on Friday, you were a very happy camper. Nice blue candle at that 200 exponential moving average. What do you get next? You get a doji. Then you get a red candle. Man, there's your entry. Boom, down you go. You get another doji. You might get a little worried there. But that doji's below the 200. So there was nothing to get upset about there. And this thing just continues to move down. As soon as you look left of the chart, what do you see at the bottom left of the chart? You see a big wick. What does that tell you? You see that cluster there, right? That's junk. That's not a wide open space. That, as soon as I saw that, once I saw that blue candle, I would be out of that. I prefer to use a trade manager, which manages my trade through everything. It basically trails my stop. It gives me 16 options the way I want to trail it. It'll scale out for me. It'll do all that sort of stuff all by itself. I put the trade on it and I forget about it. And I come back and see if I made it or I didn't make it. And it just makes it so much easier. You don't have to be looking at your charts all day long. Even though I'm at my charts all day long, you don't have to be looking at your trade all day long. Once the trade manager's on, it's yeehaw, let's go. All right, the Aussie Yen, our favorite. Aussie Yen, all I can say on this daily chart is ugly. This doesn't know if it wants to go up, if it wants to go down. You can understand that with the volatility of the yen and the volatility of the Aussie. You know, I mean, this would be a chart that you would expect. So what I would do here is absolutely nothing. if you were going to say, well, what's your bias for this pair going into next week? I'd have to say I'd want to short it. I think the Aussie's going to get weaker as time progresses, and that's what the country wants. By the way, the country wants the Aussie back down at 78 or 76. So I'd take the yen. I'd rather buy the yen. So I'd take this short more than I want to long this. I don't want to long this. I want to short this. So really, we're in a great spot to do that. We're right at the 200 exponential moving average, and that looks like a really good opportunity for us right there. And one of my favorites is, of course, the pound yen. Just absolutely love the pound yen. Now it's at an excellent spot here. Now this has been bullish, comes back down. What does it do? I said this last week, it was going to retest that 200 exponential moving average. And what did it do, folks? It retested that 200 moving average. Now what is it going to do is a question. I expect this to go back to the upside. I expect this to go long again. I don't expect this to continue to the downside. However, by Tuesday, if we're below that 200 exponential moving average with 2 red candles, I might change my mind on that. But I do expect, after our weekend break, that this is going to continue to the upside. So if you were going to ask me what's your bias for next week on the pound yen, I would say with intraday charts, I would be looking to take this long. We want to take this to the upside. And folks, as usual, we always end with the dollar index. And I think that just says it all. The dollar is strong. It's very strong, and it keeps getting stronger. We can see it consolidated there for a while, for about, 5 days, just stayed neutral. And it's just strong. There's nothing to say. I think it's going to level out, though. I don't think it's going to continue to go anywhere. I think it's going to go sideways for a while now. I think it's going to basically stay the way it is, and I think it's going to wait for the ECB, President Mario Draghi's speech. I'm almost positive it's next week, folks. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm expecting the market to wait to see what he says and when QE1 for them starts, when they start printing money and doing their thing. So once quantitative easing starts in the Eurozone, we'll start to see some real movement. All right, as usual, every Friday wrap-up, we end with the dollar index. Traders, on behalf of myself, William Gilday, and our great friends at FXCL Excellence in Trading, I thank you for being with me for another edition of the Friday wrap-up. Traders, will see you next Friday, and of course, every single trading day, we have the market opening preview that is brought to you before the London Open. Traders, always remember that this is brought to you through FXCL Excellence in Trading. Traders, have a great weekend break, re-energize, enjoy, do a little bit of Forex homework, and we'll see you in Asia. Take care now. Bye-bye.